Welcome to Hobby Highlander, where we blindly test different paints to find out which is the best so that you don't have to.
And our motto here is that there can only ever be one winner.
I'm Dakota, and this is Giacomo. Saya, Alex, which paints are we testing today?
Today we have the most popular black hobby paints. We will be testing Doom Death Black by Two Thin Coats, Black by AK, Black by Vallejo Game Color, Abaddon Black by Citadel Color, Coal Black by Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl, and Black by SoFlat.
That's a lot of black colors.
That's a lot of black, man.
It is.
Remember, this is a blind paint review, so Giacomo and Dakota won't know which paint they are testing.
And after we test each paint, we're going to give them a score between 1 to 100, and the top paints will go to a final round where we will determine which one will be the winner.
And we know this isn't all the black paint in the world, right? So if you guys have a favorite black that is not being tested today, make sure you put it in the comments so we can check it next time. Alex, what's your favorite black paint, my homie?
You know, they all look pretty black to me, so I own Black Coal from Monument Paints, and Doom Death Black from Two Thin Coats.
Those are your two that you own?
Those are two I'm owning, and I have no idea what's the difference between them.
That's fair.
They're pretty black.
They're very black. Does one dry more matte than the other? Do you just like use them interchangeably?
I think Two Thin Coats is more matte, but I'm not sure. I might be misremembering stuff.
That's fair. That's fair.
What's your favorite black metal band? I want to know.
Batushka.
Nice.
I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
Metalocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Death Clock. Death Clock.
Saya, do you have a
Death
favorite
Clock,
black?
yes. Actually, it's Citadel's the Abaddon Black.
Really? Abaddon Black?
I don't.
Do you say it Abaddon or Abandon? How do you say it? Some people say Abaddon, some people say
A
Abaddon.
bad boy black is what I call it.
Bad boy black. Boo. Actually, I kind of
You know, honestly,
Yeah, right?
That's kind of cool.
I
Yeah.
don't
That goes
ever
hard.
say it out loud. I do that thing in like fantasy books where you just kind of like rename it as you go. And you're just like,
He's not Sauron, he's Sammy.
I like a bad boy black.
You like a bad boy black?
I do. I also really enjoy the typical black that I use these days is Black Templar.
Oh, for the contrast?
I usually use black.
That is a good one.
And I go two coats because it
that's a
doesn't
real
really.
good one.
What's your favorite, G?
It is Vallejo model color black, and the only reason is because I've been using it for so long before I owned a bad boy black. You know?
I know. Model color black's really good. It's really nice too.
this is
So-
the first episode where all four of us have a different color that we
Oh,
support.
wow. Well, then I like whatever she liked. I'm kidding.
I mean, because I named a bad boy black,
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good name. I like that.
Yeah.
Hashtag a bad boy black.
So, G, do you want to tell us a little bit about these things that Alex made for us?
Yes. So it's the same tool we've been using forever. We use it for one thin coat, two thin coats, a thick coat, and a dry brush. And a new change to these is that we have a gradient here. So you can see from our light color to our dark colors and see how well it covers.
I sprayed this with Mechanica Standard Gray and then gray sear over the top. Just want to see how it covers different mediums. And obviously we're not going to spray this with black because it would cover itself quite well.
Black on black on black.
If this doesn't dry brush, because we've run into other paints that don't dry brush well, we'll use stippling or we'll use overbrush or we'll use some other kind of method to try and get this to show up a little bit more. So
that you don't have to.
yeah, we're going to find out what is the best black. Alex, you going to bring in paint number 1 for us?
Of course. It's hard to see, but it's number 1.
I mean, I'm colorblind, but I'm not that
Oh,
colorblind.
don't
No,
make
just
me
look at the
start this again. My God.
This is not opening.
Alex has like the best like closing ability, I swear. Do you close like
The
your
pickle jars?
that?
I open all jars in the house.
You'd have to. 'Cause you're talking about closing them. My God.
Do you guys like pickles?
We do.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's your favorite pickle?
My favorite pickle?
Long pickles that go on a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
That is like, is it dill? Is it?
This is
I don't
really
really know
nice
the difference of
consistency.
pickles. I just know that I like
You can
them
pickle
on
different
chicken
vegetables
sandwiches.
too.
Yeah, pickled carrots are amazing.
Let's see, this is a one thin coat. But because it's black, it already has like pretty decent coverage.
It's very good coverage.
I'm gonna skip to the thick coat. This goes on thick, real thick.
Out of these paints, I have used coal black and I have used Abaddon black.
You know what I should start doing? I should start painting the two thin coats first, then jump to the thin coat. Because I have to wait for this one to dry sooner. Or dry
Oh,
faster.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, right?
I should probably do the same. And let's do a little bit of a dry brush. So Giacomo, to you, what makes a good paint?
A good paint?
A good paint.
Dry time?
Okay.
I'm looking for coverage.
So do you like
It's
a
kinda-
quicker
and thinness.
do you like a quicker drying paint or do you like a longer drying paint? Because sometimes longer drying paints you like because you want a wet blend.
Just out of the pot, I want it to be smooth, right? I
Okay.
want to have the least amount of brush strokes, which you're still going to have. That's the nature of using a brush. I'm going to be honest. The dry brush is cool and all, but it kind of sucks with black.
I think the only time that we're really dry brushing or stippling with black is in a grimdark style
Right,
when
so
we're
it's-
catching the edges.
Right, so you can catch the dark here and it builds up to the white, to the
Yeah.
light. Yeah, that's really it. I don't really like the way this dries. It kind of dries gray. See it right there?
Yeah.
It's drying a little more gray than black. But when we put the second coat, we'll find out.
So Giacomo, if you win this challenge, what are you going to do? With
Eat
your
black licorice.
eat black licorice?
Yeah, I like black licorice. Ooh, you know what? With this second coat, I really can notice all the brush strokes. And maybe that's just the nature of this paint. I really can tell,
I can really tell the brush strokes as well.
right? And part of my thin coat kind of broke up too, right here.
This dries in a very flat manner, and on this flat surface, like I can't see brush strokes on these tiny little details
Oh, like the
that
cue
I
and stuff that
painted
you're
up
doing?
here, right?
Right.
The edge highlight is nice. If I was to use this paint, I don't know if I would use this paint on large flat surfaces unless if I was using it through an airbrush because it's so matte black.
Oh, you know what? This is going to be kind of hard to score.
Two thin coats, definitely can see brush strokes. Because there's a weird sheen to the matte.
I think it's very flat. It's a very flat color.
Yeah, but we're seeing that it has a sheen to it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, I get what you mean.
It has like the matte medium that they used to make this color. Maybe if you added a little bit of satin, maybe it would flow a little bit. I don't fucking know.
I don't like this. Here, let's make that number one. I don't like this too much because of its breaking. It's breaking on here too.
Especially after it's dried completely.
I can't give this a honest score right now, but I'm going to give it a placeholder score. Because I still need to kind of determine it against these other ones, where with previous colors that are actually not black or white, I could probably give it something. This I can give a placeholder score for now, and it's probably going to change. I would give this
gonna
like
give it
a
a 45.
50. Like it serves its purpose for black. Like when I was using Vallejo model color just to fill in black parts on a Space Marine.
I'm going to guess this is Monument.
You're gonna guess this Monument?
Yep.
So what were your guesses?
Monument.
I actually also think it's Monument. No, I don't. I think this is. Oh, I don't know what colors these would be.
Well, they're all black.
Really? Oh no, I think I'm gonna go with Pro Acryl as well.
You're going to go Pro Acryl?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pro. I'm gonna go
Alright.
Pro. I want Pro.
I'm just going to put these over here.
Okay.
There we go. We can have a
We'll get 'em
visual
later.
Well, a visual reference to the paints, you know.
Make it
'Cause
look
sometimes we're really bad at guessing, like really bad. Sometimes we're really good. Alex, you
Oh my god.
want to bring in number 2, my friend?
Of course.
Numero dos. I like the sound of this. It's like,
We can thank Alex for that.
yeah.
Oh, I've smelt this before.
Is it paint?
I don't think I can smell these anymore because it might give me an upper hand. I mean, is it allowed?
You got
Is smelling paints allowed?
No.
you got a lot of them right last
I don't
time.
think that's fair either. Because you're only using that to guess and it's not the paint consistency.
Yeah, would that really matter? Like,
Well, this
How many
one's-
people do you
this
know
one's
that
breaking
smell their
apart
paints?
really hard?
Dakota.
that's one. That's
Literally
one.
just me.
Oh man, you're right. This is breaking real hard. We might have guessed wrong with Pro Acryl.
Just guess them all. Hey, we'll have one right.
I'm doing the thing I said I was gonna do. I'm doing the second
So
coat
I will
first.
say that this goes on.
Actually a little nicer. Yeah, I was agreeing with this.
So automatically, flow rate, this paint has a higher score.
This is already scoring higher than
higher
kind of our
score
mid
for sure.
our first placeholder. I mean, it's definitely coverage.
This one would probably go through an airbrush pretty well.
You think so with enough
It's
medium
thin
to thin
enough.
it down?
And, well, the interesting thing about the consistency of this paint is that it's thin enough that it would probably shoot through an airbrush with just very minimal, like flow improver.
I'm gonna determine these two. The first one was darker. Right? Yeah, first one feels darker.
Yeah, this paint does not want to go on the dry brush.
Not very well. No.
It's too. I mean, that's the reason why it would go through an airbrush really well. You know, good for a smoke dry brush or like some kind of. Let me try to stipple it.
You know, I would dry brush this and then paint over it with a lighter color to create the smoke effect. Yeah. This is already better on the coverage just alone compared to the first one.
Stipple's not great from a brush. Maybe a more controlled sponge would be better.
What I also want to see is when it's fully dry to see the way it looks.
The dry time of this is reminding me of GW, but not the consistency.
Yeah, I could see this being a bad boy.
A bad boy?
Mm-hmm. A bad boy!
Giacomo really entertains himself here on Hobby Highlander.
Yeah, man. Giacomo Finane.
So this paint does not want to be thinned for edge highlighting.
No?
And now you're not going to edge highlight with black typically unless
No,
if you're
why?
doing a grim dark style. Again.
Even then, why?
Because you can go through with like oranges and rusts and silvers and highlight on top of that, right?
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's like reverse. I would not add water to this paint. Right out of the bottle.
It's fine for you?
Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, it's not bad. It is taking a long time to dry. I still haven't even been able to put on my second thin coat. Have you?
I mean, no, I did. At what point do we just stop doing like dry times unless they're really significant? Because everyone seems to be taking long to dry.
Not all of them.
No, there's some that are definitely faster. Abaddon black for sure.
I'm going to guess game color.
You're going game color?
I am going to go game color. I think that Abaddon is more glossy.
See, I'm not familiar with game color at all. So for all I know, it could be that.
I've only used game color air black because I used that for quite a long time because I liked how thin it was. That's why I moved to the black contrast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mr. Alex, can you bring in paint number 3 for us?
Of course. Number 3.
It's hard to read though.
This reminds me of Abaddon.
Oh yeah?
It does.
Yeah, you probably use it more than I do, so.
So I would say that all of these paints so far have really good coverage. So far we haven't had to struggle with finding a black paint that covers well.
And that's the nature of dark colors in general.
Except for this one.
Except for this.
Oh,
It's not covering well for me, at least.
I think it's covering all right. I'm doing it real thick right now.
That shit ain't the consistency of... What did you say?
Milk?
No, like, how do you say it in Spanish?
Leche?
Leche.
Leche.
I was going to say cojones.
Wrong
That is
thing.
very
I know it's very...
That's a very wrong thing. No, this is pretty thin. Like, look at that. You could see where you could see the marks on the thick coat. These ones don't have it. You know, the few times I have used Abaddon black, though, it has had some problems where I might have thinned it too much and then I need 1 or 2 coats. So this
or
could
4.
be that. I don't know if it was ever this severe, though.
Well, I mean, I don't think that...
I think
this
you
is-
thinned it down just maybe too much. Look at this.
I mean, look, that's like the consistency of some 2% milk.
Oh, you know what? I neglected to do the dry brush. Not that I want to, because I don't think it's that great with this color.
Yeah, dry brushing with dark colors, who would have thought? Not particularly great right now.
Ugh, that's awful.
Jeez, Giacomo!
I said overbrush.
Talk about some wet paint, my guy. All right, we're going to try and dry brush this myself. Now, unfortunately,
There you go.
this is a kind of wet paint, even though it's really rich. It's not dry brushing well.
No, I gave up on the dry brush.
It's too thin. This is not one of dry brush.
Perhaps too thin? No.
Perhaps too thin. Too thin coats.
For the too thin audiences out there. I made that joke.
Well, we have some diehard fans. I would say, what do you think is the most diehard fans that you've seen so far that we've talked to about this show? Because I definitely think there's one paint brand that people just go ham over.
Oh, Monument Hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go hard on Monument Hobbies. I went hard on Monument Hobbies. The second coat's not too bad. It's still drying a little bit, so we'll give it some time. But it's not bad. Compared
I'd
to...
say the sheens are very similar.
Yeah.
I'm ready to make a guess and give a score.
All right.
I am too.
I'm going to guess that this is Citadel, a bad boy black, and I am going to give it a 55.
I'm going to say that this is Vallejo.
Okay.
Vallejo. And I'm
No
going to
clue.
give this...
No clue.
Pretty much, I'm actually going to give it a similar score. They function very similar to me.
What is your score?
67.
67. All right.
Oh, I thought you said that you thought number 2 was better.
At first, and then the more I'm looking at it, it kind of works the same. You know what? You're right. There's a little bit less black spots, so I'm going to update this. We're going to go 68.
For your...
Number 3.
Okay.
I like it. I like it less than number 2.
Okay. I liked it a little more than number 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
By a point.
Yeah.
It's so arbitrary. It's like it's not.
Well, I mean, the objective things are: did it cover better? What is the consistency?
Like number 1, with my since I said I was going to change the number 1 score, I knew that for sure. It's already worse than these by a lot, in my opinion. I'm actually going to drop this down to a 45.
Oh, okay.
And it'll probably get a little lower depending on the other ones.
Okay.
That's what-
That's fair.
That's what Dakota has as well.
It's getting worse.
I'm waiting to see how this dries because the 2 thin coats of number 2 has a sheen for me. It doesn't for you, but it does for me. Which is really bad when you're trying to paint an overall model.
Right, consistently.
That's consistent. Because, so for instance, like Giacomo can paint black this way, and then what if you change your paint style just a little bit, and then you have this sheen come up? I don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Yep. Alex, bring in paint number 4, please. And yes, I'm wearing a kilt. All right.
Number 4.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No one would ever have known that.
I know, that was really funny to me. That farmer's tan.
That is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It does things for me, though.
Oh yeah, when you see like a pale Brit boy or something, you're like, that's it, I'm done.
It's not the only farmer's tan I have.
We're supposed to show that!
All right.
It's not the right paint color.
This is a good. This is
nice. I like the way this
so
looks,
it's thin when it comes out of the pot.
but look at the way it works on the palette.
I like it out of the palette. Gosh, this is probably game color. All right.
Whoa, it's smooth. Smooth as heck.
A little bit too smooth. Now, objectively, there are some paints that you don't need to put on a wet palette.
Is this one of them?
But I always use a wet palette, nonetheless, because even contrast paints can be painted on a wet palette. I prefer it.
They sure can.
I prefer to paint. My personal painting style. I like to paint in thinner coats, and then get more consistency out of my paints rather than doing something like super thick.
I like this. This is a good black.
Thick. Yeah, this is.
This is a real nice black. You know, for the most part, we've agreed with a lot of the colors, like on our scores.
Yeah.
Except this one, number 3, didn't. Whatever. I'm gonna staple this on because I don't think dry brushing is gonna help me here. Will Stiple even help me here? No. What am I building up to? Dark?
I think stippling with maybe a dry brush instead.
Try that. I'm dry brushing with a layer.
Weathering. That's what we're doing. This is not dry brush.
It's free battle
This
damage.
is the weathering.
It's the weather channel.
Yeah. We are.
I don't like that you make dad jokes and like make eye contact with me. Knock it off.
No.
So this seems to be like a warmer black. Like when you see
A
it.
warmer black?
I'm curious.
So here, I just dabbed this out, right? Like to me, like some of these, like this is just black. This definitely seems like it has a warmer tone in it than this. Am I wrong?
If I were to like do this, and obviously you know the orientation, but do you guys know which one he just did? Can you tell me which is the different
warm
one?
The warm one.
Yeah, see?
That's dumb.
It's 100% true. It's my truth, my orc truth.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so
It's time for a second coat.
it looks like it.
Yeah.
It's hard to give it a 100%.
Well, I might switch to whatever black this is in the future.
Is your favorite so far?
Yeah.
What black are you currently using while painting? You said model color?
And Abaddon, depending on what I'm painting.
Okay.
Because Abaddon has a slightly more gloss look, so sometimes I'll use that.
And sometimes you're looking for that gloss look. You can also add a medium, but that's just an extra step, right? We're here to find out what's the best right off the bat. So I'm looking at the first coat. The first coat to me has the best coverage
Of all of them, right?
of all of them.
Yeah.
The thick coat,
It's good.
you can see, I wouldn't suggest painting this in one thick coat. I would still put it on the wet palette and then, you know,
Give it
roll
one
it
or two.
around so it adds just that little bit of moisture so that you don't see the brush strokes, because you can't see it when it's rolled around. But when I pulled it directly out, you know.
Yeah, I like this. I think I'm ready to score this one.
I'm going to give this a 70.
I'm just going to give it a 70 as well. Let's go 72. We'll change it slightly. Because you said it. And I think this is AK.
I think this is AK,
I
huh?
think it's AK.
I'm going to go with 2 thin coats.
2 thin coats. I thought about that at first. Mm-hmm. But then I would assume that he'd want 2 thin coats.
I mean, it's 2 thin coats. Well, I don't know.
It's already rocking with one thin coat, you know? The brand
This
isn't
is
called
not.
one thin coat.
This is not the only paint that has rocked with 1 thin coat from 2 thin coats. All right, Alex, you want to bring in number 5?
Of course. Number 5.
Thank
You
you.
sounded like a hummingbird. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Maybe I am.
I wouldn't know how to take that.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I don't know if I like this one.
Wow, this one's thick,
Yeah, I don't know if I really like this thickness.
thick as fuck, boy.
What's the black paint that's supposed to be the blackest black that no one's allowed to use or something? Except that one guy.
Black 3.0? I think it's now Black 4.0. I think I can guess what paint this is. I'm not gonna say that I don't like it. I don't know if I haven't used it. It is thick though. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, I'm trying to thin it down. It runs okay. I can catch a lot of this.
Don't think I'm super familiar with this paint line.
I don't think I'm really sold on this paint though.
It has a warmer tone too. Look at this.
I don't like the way this is drying. I don't think
Yours isn't even dry yet.
I said drying. I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's good?
I don't like this. I'd rather use number 4.
I mean, it's not Amsterdam.
No, it's not. It's not one of the celebrity craft store paints. I mean, I haven't done the second coat yet, and I don't know how much I can really trust the dry brush at this point. But
I'm just going to do battle damage, my guy. This is battle damage it up.
See, look how it's drying right here. I don't like that.
Where? Let me see.
Right there. I don't like it.
Okay, well,
I think it's drying and it looks not cool.
that's fair. So one thing that I have been trying with this, with these paints is painting inside the numbers and then seeing if I can smear the paint away. Because, you know, sometimes when you mess up, you do that quick, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh,
I mean, I'll usually get some water and then get it thin and then move it.
homie, look at that. It's gone. Just rub it really hard.
Okay, yeah, that's there. There's that.
It's not the first time I've been told that.
Nice. Yeah, I don't like the way this dries. It's suckish. Look at yours, the way yours is drying. It's
I
suckish.
mean, it's not
It's
good.
suckish. This is the worst one so far. For those, though, the thick coats, it's whatever. I can see the strokes, the veininess. It's whatever.
Yeah, the thick coat. This is not a thick coat paint.
It's not a paint I choose.
Maybe it's a too thin coat paint.
It could be.
It could be a too
It could
thin.
be a too thin coat paint because it's too thin. It's not good.
It's pretty thin.
If you're gonna do that, blow it over here so we can get double usage out of that.
Hey, nice.
Like working smarter, not harder.
How's yours looking?
I mean, you painted yours better than mine. I'm gonna be
Oh man, I
honest.
really hate how yours are drying.
Mine are.
Oh my god, that's
Mine are-
even your thick coat is awful.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Like, I don't think I'm very proficient in whatever paint this is. It's really like grayed out.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. And you can kind of tell it here. It's not as gray as the first one because of the medium or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm just over thinning.
Well, I'm gonna do my second coat.
Because I'm
now.
not having a problem with veining, if that's a word.
Veining, brush strokes, similar. I mean the second coat's better, but I really hate the thin coat. Not that you're going to leave most things at a thin coat.
I mean, we've judged enough painting competitions that we see those contrast people coming out here just applying one coat of contrast.
And calling it a
Some
day.
people do just do one thin coat. But is this the one thick coat paint? I will tell you it's not. Number 4 and number 2 are probably the two one thin coats for me.
Do you guys have a guess?
I'm going to guess this is, oh man.
I think it's SoFlat.
I was going to guess SoFlat as well.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get a score from you, gentlemen?
35.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll give it a 32. Flat. I mean, it is actually drying kind of flat, so. These have been the most. You see, like, these are the two that have the most different colors.
I'm just not a fan of this paint. I would
No,
not
I
buy
wouldn't
it.
use it.
If I could return any of these paints, I would. You want to bring in the last paint, Mr. Alex?
Yes, I do.
My hummingbird?
I just realized how much paint we are going to have after the first season of this show.
We're going to have to figure out to do something with it.
Paint with it?
Maybe we'll give it away to our Patreons. Speaking of Patreons, thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you to all of our Patreons who really help us
Help
with
make this possible, man.
this and the Squad Games podcast and our events for Kill Team. Thank you all. Okay.
See you at LVO.
And also you watching this. Don't forget to give us a like and, notification. Though looking at our statistics, I think only like 16% of people watch this part of the video. It's mostly at the end.
Make it 17.
Make it 17.
We're on our goal to 1,000.
And we are.
Well, it's thick.
This might be so flat. Whoa, what is this?
I've learned this. I don't seem to like the black thick paints. Based on the one other one.
Is it not that pigmented? See if I don't know if the camera will catch it.
I don't think I'm guessing these right now that I'm seeing these.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've gotten 0 correct. So what's interesting about this paint, it's very thinly pigmented and it dries hella fast.
I don't hate this, but I don't love it compared to the other ones so far. But I don't hate this. Whoa, thick coverage is nice. I don't know if you could really tell the differences here at this point. And dry brushing is not really a thing. You can do battle damage.
Well, the good news is, like, for me, obviously, I should really struggle to paint with this one, and you painted yours much better. So
But I still didn't like this.
if it's user error, I know, but if it's user error between the two, we can still look at each other's paint.
I don't like this one. It's the worst one. And I need to do another change now that this has dried more.
Which one?
Paint number 2.
Do you like 2 better?
No, it's looking worse.
Oh.
It's
number
turning
2
worse.
is getting worse.
It's turning worse after it's drying.
curing.
That in there and in here, number 2, you're getting shot down, man. You're gonna be moved to a 50, 57.
Wow, 10 points.
It's not good. It's like if you see the way it's drying on here.
You want me to pass it over so they can see it too?
Sure. Yeah, give it to them. The number 3 is better.
Chalky.
Yeah, it's gross. And again, number 1 has been my test one, and it probably still deserves the score that I gave it. Oh my God, I think it's worse.
It's your first one.
Oh my God, I think it's worse than number 1.
I mean, so far, in my opinion,
Oh man, this is getting down.
number 4 is probably the best. So far, this one we have to let dry. I have to let
Oh
dry.
my God, I think I have to give this a 41.
He can't even
Oh my
handle
God.
No, like, because I can't say that this would be a 57 if this is better than it.
it. Yeah,
So
it's true.
number
Oh my
2, in my
God.
opinion, is definitely going to match number 3. I'm going to drop it to a 55.
You're dropping it to a 55?
I'm not going to go that low.
This
'Cause
is better.
I like the one thick coat from that.
But Vallejo's, what I assumed is Vallejo is also drying kind of weird, so this is going to jump down to like a 60.
It's interesting that once we start seeing paints cure, we can kind of start seeing.
With black, for sure, we have to kind of do that because that's, they're all going to look black, but there's a way that it looks black against the surface, right? Mm-hmm. And so far, number 4 has looked the best against the surfaces. So I can't, give it a higher score if they're not curing properly, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't do it based on that. So our scores are going to change a bunch here. Are you changing any more?
No, I think I'm going to stay the same.
You're gonna stay
for
the
most
same?
part, but I don't know what I'm going to score this one just quite yet. I have a guess for this paint.
What do you think it is?
I think I'm going to guess AK.
I think all I've left is Tooth and Coats. I'm going to say Tooth and Coats. It's all right.
Specifically, the reason why I'm guessing AK is because AK, in my opinion, from all the ranges that we've been testing, has been drying the fastest out of all ranges. They
Okay.
definitely have the fastest drying paint.
Right.
To me, this is the fastest drying. This and number 4 are the fastest drying.
If we're going to be like doing the black color, I may as well have a little bit of fun with it and give him make him black metal. That's for you, Alex.
Thanks.
It's glossy though.
Yeah, I don't.
This might be a bad boy.
You think?
Yeah,
Oh no! Oh no! I have to go with.
but it's good. It's good.
You like it? I don't. I don't. Well,
You don't like the last one?
Hold on. I
You
don't
just
like
said
it.
you liked it.
I don't like it in the sense of.
And then I say it's a bad boy, and you're like,
compared
hey, fuck it. Fuck
compared to the
this.
rest. I think this is like a solid 50 though.
I feel like you're going through a crisis over there.
Giacomo has gone through a mid-painting crisis.
Mid painting crisis indeed. Yeah, 50 for sure.
Okay.
50 on this one, and I'm gonna say it's too thin. Too thin.
What about you, Dakota?
I'm going to say this is a bad boy,
You saying it's a bad boy it is.
and I'm going to give it a 60.
a bad boy.
I also want to make number 2 back to my 60.
You going back to 60? Yeah. I'm gonna make a change. Number 4.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to
Giacomo, you're
78.
gonna kill us.
It's going to 78.
Number 4?
It's
Okay.
even better. It's
Okay.
it's drying the best.
Okay.
It's curing the
our,
best.
Our final scores.
But this one is actually looking a little bit. Maybe I was a little harsh with 50. Let
I have no idea.
Let me go like 56.
Hey, when we get those orcs out, you're done doing that.
No.
So I will say that by far my least favorite of this is number 5. And then number 1.
Mine was
And
two.
my second favorite is I would say
You guys
These are my
really
top 3.
shocked.
These are my top 3.
What are they?
2, 4, and 6 are my top 3.
Mine are 3, 4, and 6.
3 and 4 and 6. So we had 4 and 6 as our toppers. And then you said 3? It's interesting. So what's our top 3?
Your top 3 are, let us run the figures.
Run the figures.
All right, so third place is number 6 with a score of 110 collectively.
Nice.
Second place is number 3 with a collective score of 115. And your first place as it stands is number 4 with a collective score of 148.
It wasn't even a competition for that number.
Yeah. And your
Yeah.
lowest score right now is sitting at 67.
Interesting that 3 got pulled out. I did not like how it performed when it was watered down.
So we have
Seems like a cheaper paint because of how much it separated for me. But we don't really have a cheap paint over here, so. All right, we are going to take some Death Guard models. We're going to paint some probably recessed bits and bits of this, guys.
Yep, I'm going to increase the contrast. I'm turning it to 100. All right, what do you want to start with? Number 6?
Sure.
Since it's third place? Number 6.
My number 6 is still drying, which is why I think it's still Citadel.
Mine's doing pretty good, but I like the way it's coming out. I don't like it more than these ones, though.
All right.
Let's do
Dude, where are the recessed bits, my guy?
I'm going to force contrast on this in sections. I mean, it definitely looks black. It can't be more than black.
But I mean, is it gonna matter? I mean, is it gonna matter if it's like if all black is
the way it
works?
dries, remember? So like it's the type of texture that's created.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna matter. I don't know if I used all the colors, then you tell me which one was which. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
We've put a couple details on these models with black now with this particular paint, and I think that the thing that's really setting these apart is how they're drying. So to me, it's not how they're covering because they're all covering
Black.
relatively similar. Mm-hmm. It's mostly like the sheen and how they're drying, and because they look the same when they're wet.
Right, so it's not until they're actually fully cured.
This is number 3 now.
This is number 3 now.
This paint, yeah, it's glossier. This paint paint's much better. I feel like I have more control over this than I did the last paint.
Oh, like how sharp you can make each line?
Yeah.
You can't see it from here, but I like this texture a little more.
On this paint?
Yeah, for different reasons. It's drying pretty smooth. And I was really going like different lines on it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's drying pretty smooth. So, I mean, if you want a more smooth finish, I think number 3 is giving you the smooth finish. Like a real nice smooth finish.
And move on to the next one?
Let's go to the last one.
What did you think about this paint?
Smoother. Smoother.
I liked how it's watered down. I like the smoothness.
And now number 4. Do I have a big surface I can paint on? Heck yeah, his hat. His hood hat.
You also can paint rim of the base.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, Alex for the money here.
We should have done that with all of
He
them.
earned himself a slice of pizza.
Always rim your bases, people.
Can I make that joke?
No.
On TV?
No.
Not while painting with black, no.
Do you rim your models with that mouth?
Yes.
Yeah, the rim comes out nice. Now it's even more dry.
I like the last paint the best.
Yeah, look at that. This is one coat, and it covered most of this. It's still drying a little bit in the back, but it's good. Yeah, number 4. That's the way to go.
All right, I think you from what it sounded like, it sounds like you're going to stay pretty consistent with your top 3.
Yeah, it didn't really change much, right?
Well,
That's
I think me and G definitely.
3, 4, 5, 6.
So I scored the last paint more than I scored number 3, but in practice and painting, I liked number 3 better than number 6.
Okay.
So in my podium, could you bring up the podium, good sir?
Of course.
For me, I would put 4,
Okay.
3, 6.
4, 3, 6. Actually, yeah, that's where I'd keep it.
Yeah.
4, 3, 6.
Mine switches a tad because I had 3 a little lower than 6, but I think they're all good paints. But I do think number 4 is by far the
It's
best.
a standout. Of the bunch.
It is the standout of the bunch. We are ready for the reveals.
All right, here are the reveals. Starting at
Do you have your eraser?
6th place is number 5,
6th place is number 5.
which is Citadel.
6th place.
Yes.
At number 5, Citadel.
This was Citadel.
Yes.
GW.
Number
This
5.
was City Bros. Abaddon back.
Bad Boys from the City Bros. Yep.
So this was Citadel.
Yep. And then
GW.
5th place
Uh-huh.
was number 1, which was SoFlat.
SoFlat was number 1. Flat.
4th place was paint number 2.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm gonna do what you did, G.
I hate doing this, but it's Pro Acryl.
Oh, no!
All right. So wait. We go back. Wait, which one? So last place was GW,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that was number 5.
You guys
Yes.
talk so much smack about
Oh,
them.
no.
Like it,
Sorry,
it was
Dylan.
never ending.
Damn.
It was never ending.
I was so fucking wrong.
Oh, my.
What was next? Number
Then we had
number
SoFlat.
1.
so flat.
How did this beat GW?
Man,
So
and
we're here to see.
for all you hobby
What
heroes
happened?
out
And
there.
then
And then Pro Acryl was number 2.
yep.
Which
4th place.
I'm real. They just said this, and I'm processing. So this was Pro.
Yes.
He's going pro.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Moving on to the podium.
Oh,
The
boy.
podium.
Third.
We have them up here.
yeah.
Third place.
Third place is
grab it.
paint number 6,
Okay.
Paint number 6 for third place.
Tooth and Coats.
Too thin
Too
coats.
thin coats?
Hey. Too thin.
You guys are ready for the
Oh my
winner?
God, I got 0 right.
Oh my god. Okay.
You did.
I am not eating black licorice today or drinking a Pepsi Nitro.
Oh no, maybe you will be eating black licorice as your
I
punishment.
love black licorice. All right, so the winner
I'm stressing out. Okay, the winner,
The first place.
which is first place, which was number 4.
Will be number 4. Our first place in our black challenge and our Hobby Highlander winner is.
So-
AK.
AK!
AK!
Wow.
Hey, I think I guessed that.
So Vallejo, the game color was second place.
Vallejo. And that was number 3, right? Paint number 3?
Yes.
Nice. Hey, look at that. Flipped in.
And we do know that Dakota got them all wrong, but
Really?
Alex, how many did Giacomo get?
Giacomo got 3 right, and
Whoa.
in fact, he got top 3 right.
Oh!
Wow! All right.
Good job, G.
Yeah.
So
I only know the good ones.
I am 100% switching to this black.
AK, yeah, that's a real good color. That's real good.
Vallejo was, in my opinion, knowing the brands, going back to Vallejo,
Uh-huh.
it definitely performed better than Too Thin.
Okay.
Too Thin reminded me a lot of a Bad Boys, or what I thought a Bad Boys was supposed to be. But
Is that a thing that just happens between Vallejo and Games Workshop? Like, I don't want to say they're the same.
you mean
but,
Too Thin?
No, I'm just thinking in general, Vallejo and Games Workshop, do they have a lot of, like, similar properties? Because I know there's a conversion chart that I used to use, which is Vallejo to Games Workshop. So I wondered if they're, like,
I would think
pretty similar.
I would think that Too Thin would probably be more of a direct comparison because they kind of made like their brand is to like make better Games Workshop paints,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's good.
But Vallejo is like what do we always to this day? We always say that Vallejo is. We always compare everything to Games Workshop.
Right, because they're the most common, right? They're the ones people are going to know.
So yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, hey, give it AK. There you go.
AK, wow.
They podium, they champion, they're the winner. Slice the rest.
And actually, they won by a lot. It was 148 points, and your runner-up was 115.
And I had to change my scores a lot. It really, to me, comes down to the way it dries on a surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's us this time, Make sure you check us out next time on Hobby Highlander, where we will, test the next color and see what's the best.
See ya.